In today's episode of Mind Mirror, we will talk about exploring the psychological roots of imposter syndrome and how perfectionism, comparison, and upbringing all feed the fraud illusion. Imagine standing in front of a mirror, staring at your reflection with a sense of unease. You can't quite put your finger on it, but something about yourself doesn't feel right. Perhaps you're a high-achieving professional, yet you've always felt like an imposter, as if you're just one step away from being exposed for the fake you are. This is the experience that millions of people worldwide have faced, and it's known as imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is not just a myth, it's a psychological phenomenon that affects individuals across all walks of life, regardless of their background or accomplishments. The concept was first coined in 1978 by Pauline Clance and Susan Imez, two American psychologists who studied the experiences of high-achieving women. However, as research has shown, imposter syndrome is not limited to women, it affects men too. So what fuels this sense of inadequacy? One key factor is perfectionism. Perfectionists often set unrealistically high standards for themselves, making it difficult to meet their own expectations. When they fail to live up to these standards, they may feel like imposters, as if they've let everyone down, including themselves. But perfectionism isn't the only contributor to this psychological trap. Social comparison is another significant factor. When we compare ourselves to others, whether in a competitive or comparative context, we can start to feel inadequate. We might think, why can't I be more like them? Or I'll never be as successful as they are. This comparison can erode our confidence and make us feel like imposters. Another crucial aspect of the imposter syndrome is upbringing. Our early experiences and relationships with caregivers play a significant role in shaping our self-perception. If we were constantly praised for our achievements, but then criticized or belittled for any perceived mistakes, we may grow up to feel like imposters. We might develop an internalized voice that tells us we're not good enough, simply because we made a mistake. But what is this fraud illusion that imposter syndrome creates? It's the idea that no matter how hard we work or achieve success, we'll always be one step away from being exposed as fake. This illusion is fueled by our own self-doubt and fears of failure. We might rationalize our achievements by thinking, I must have cheated, or I don't deserve this. This negative self-talk creates a toxic cycle that's hard to break. The consequences of imposter syndrome can be severe. For individuals who suffer from it, the fear of being discovered as an imposter can prevent them from taking risks or pursuing their passions. They might feel stuck in a career or relationship they don't truly want, simply because they're afraid of being exposed for their perceived inadequacies. But here's the thing, imposter syndrome is not just about personal failure, it's also about societal expectations. We live in a culture that often celebrates success over self-awareness. We're told to strive for perfection and never settle for anything less than excellence. This pressure can be overwhelming, making us feel like imposters even if we've achieved something truly remarkable. So how can we break free from the imposter syndrome? First, it's essential to recognize that you're not alone in this experience. Millions of people worldwide have faced similar feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. By acknowledging your feelings, you can start to see them for what they are, a manifestation of societal expectations and internalized negative self-talk. Next, practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding, just as you would a close friend. Remind yourself that everyone makes mistakes and that it's okay not to be perfect. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small they may seem, and remind yourself of your strengths. Finally, challenge societal expectations. Recognize that perfection is an unattainable ideal and that it's okay to make mistakes. Encourage others to do the same and work together to create a culture that values self-awareness and authenticity over achievement at all costs. In conclusion, imposter syndrome is not just a personal problem, it's also a societal issue. By exploring its psychological roots and challenging our own assumptions about success and perfection, we can break free from this illusion and live more authentic lives. Remember, you're not an imposter, you're simply human, with flaws and imperfections that make you unique. Stay tuned for the next episode of Mind Mirror, a reflection of thoughts you never say out loud.